Oh yeah. Once again, it's on, man. No strings attached. It's a Wednesday night. Welcome back. Welcome back. We appreciate y'all for hanging out with us, man. Let's get it. Oh, it's the show that you can't live without, man. We talking this week about 50-50 relationships, man. It always comes back to money in relationships, don't it? It always comes back to the damn paper. So we're gonna get into that tonight, man. Plus a whole lot of other stuff. You dig? We got a couple people running late. We running late tonight, but we here. We got Shody Mo, aka Cozy Mo, in here. What up, Mo?
What's up, y'all? Welcome back on a Wednesday night. Let's get into it. I'm ready.
Yeah, we ain't got time. We already late. Torian up in here with it. Torian and his hat are in here tonight. What up, Torian?
What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Happy Wednesday. Happy No Strings Day. Y'all already know. Let's get it going. Let's get into this ish.
Let's go. Let's get straight into it, man. 50-50 relationships. There was a lot going on over the week. Well, hold on. Before we get there, hold on. Let me slow down. I'm getting too excited to get into this. Let me slow down. Last week, we gave respect as we should have to Keke Palmer and the post baby body,
Right.
and how the baby has shown her some love. Let's not get it twisted. This week we gotta show some love and respect. I always tell y'all that she been my mistress since what's the song? Was it? I think it was Yoga. Was it called? I think it was called Yoga. Yeah. Let me see you do that yoga. My girl Janelle Monáe was showing off recently. She was showing off at the Met Gala as well. But here she go in the pool showing off. Go ahead. I can't play the music right now, but we're gonna show the look at her get up out of that pool. Go ahead, give it to him.
Okay, girl.
Give it to him, Janelle.
It's giving body, period.
Go. Give it to him. There you go. You see it. So all of y'all that's been sleeping on Janelle Monáe all these years and wondering what was up under them black and white suits, there you go.
Yeah.
And t-shirt and shorts at that. Shit.
Yeah, it was a nice. I like the whole little look. You know what I'm saying? I like what she was doing right there. So shout out to Janelle Monáe. She got new music dropping. Y'all make sure y'all go pick that up. Stream that. That's some old nigga shit. I gotta stop saying that. No one's going to buy music. Make sure y'all stream this shit. Damn, my fault.
He said, "Go buy the record."
Go down there and get that damn CD. Shit. Stop playing. Yeah, man. But y'all make sure y'all stream that. Show her some love. She's definitely a talented artist. So shout out to Janelle Monáe. This may become an ongoing segment. This all started with Meg and them white pants. Well, how long has that been now? About a month ago? When Megan and them white
at the Astro game or something.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah, Megan and them white pants, the Astros game set it off.
She knew what she was doing.
Damn right she knew what she was doing. All right. Let's get here because I don't know if it would be interesting to get to have one of them. Somebody, when I say one of them, I'm talking about a woman that's an entertainer or an athlete, or maybe just a woman just with a real big bag to chime in on this particular topic, talking about going 50-50. You dig? Before we get in, because we got some clips we want to play, but before we get into that, what y'all think, man? Before we get in, let's get everybody's consensus, and then we'll get into some clips and some other stuff as well. But 50-50 in the relationship. When I say 50-50, let's define that first. Are we talking about we splitting all the bills? How do y'all define 50-50? I don't want to define it for y'all. Y'all let me know.
It goes either way, honestly. I mean, it's 50-50. Y'all come together and decide what y'all go each contribute to the bills or whatever, or it's like everything we get, every bill we got, we go split it in half.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's more so for heterosexual couples, though. Okay. I feel like in that sense, you go by.
I go on the other side then.
I feel like more so people would do. Well, I feel like 50-50 will work everywhere. Actually, I take that back. But like you get more of what would the 50-50 side be. So I feel like with heterosexuals, it's always gonna be with like the men go pay like the rent, and then the women go do like the light bill and maybe the cable, all the other stuff.
Right.
Whereas I feel like in the, LGBT relationship, it might be more down like splitting everything just 50-50.
Right.
So we both go split the rent, and we both go pay. Well, one of us might take one bill and take the other bill, but
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. What say you, Mo? How is it? Is it down the middle, or is it just, hey, I got these, you got those?
When it comes to the topic of discussion, I'm gonna go with the internet standards more so from what I see. People talking about just splitting everything straight down the middle. We both contributing half of everything. Like that's what I think of when people talk about 50-50 relationships. So that's what I'm just gonna go ahead and assume from jump most times.
Okay. All right. Now, okay. So, is that something that you open to, Mo? Would you? Oh, let me ask that way. Let me ask it this way. What would be your preference? Is your preference to, if you're in every situation, would you be like, yeah, that's cool, we just split it, or would it be, preferably, I would prefer that you pay, but
I mean, at this point in my life, honestly, I would prefer for a man to want to do more for me than is, I guess, traditionally expected when it comes to a 50-50. So, I mean, I would want you to want to, do a little bit more for me because, I mean, I feel like on my side, I'm already doing that anyway. So, I'm probably going to be going above and beyond for most things, regardless. Like, I'm not really sitting in nickel and diamond, you know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't really want to do 50-50 per se because I feel like it kind of puts a certain type of shadow over your relationship where it's just like, what happens if I can't do 50-50 or like, because when you really, dealing with a person, you really love a person, care about a person, like there's times where you may just have to extend a little bit more and that's okay, but I mean, I'm in my era where I'm like, especially when it comes to me and my relationship, like my man likes to do for me and to be that, like that strong provider type. But again, I'm talking about financially 50-50. No, I don't really want to do that, honestly. But I mean, I will if it were necessary, but
right.
I would love him. I would love for, just my man to want to really kind of take care of me. And I'll take care of him in the ways that I do. You know what I'm saying? So
Hold on now. This is a PG show. Wait a minute.
I ain't talking about that. Well,
Wait a minute. Jesus Christ. Let me say this before we can continue. Somebody might notice I don't got my ring on tonight. It's because I jammed my damn finger playing ball, and I literally can't put it on. I don't know if you can see.
He hurt himself doing something.
Yeah, that shit is
right. Lying.
Damn the shit out of it.
This nigga lying.
I did. I jammed it. I tried to put it on before the show too. I can't even fit it on. I jammed the shit. It's as far as I can bend the damn finger. So there you go. I just wanted to put that out there. Somebody gonna be like, that nigga, he been on this show talking about relationships and he ain't wearing his ring. Nigga, stop. Everything, we
He's
good
like,
over there.
All right, everything good?
Mm-hmm. Hey, because the internet notice everything.
No, for real.
Any little thing. I love when people post. First of all, let me deviate for just a second. Jesus Christ. If you're gonna post a selfie in your bathroom, on anybody's bathroom, or in any mirror, the first rule, number one, make sure the damn mirror clean. That's the first rule.
Not always. Sometimes it's aesthetically pleasing. It's not too dirty.
Nah, you gotta make sure that mirror clean, and then you gotta check what's gonna be in the background of that picture and make sure that it's something that you're comfortable with. Because motherfuckers be in the mirror, and the picture itself will be some fire. I'd be like, oh shit. But then you looking in the background like, hold on, man, you dirty as shit. Like,
right.
None of them clothes that's laying on the floor. Like, the fuck?
I see some skid marks on them drawers back there. Like, you didn't think to clean that shit up like that. Honestly, I'm one of those people that pays attention to things like that. I remember a lot, and I'll never forget this. Like, I think about it to this day when we talk about shit like this because there's a girl that was like beautiful girl, so beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Bad, nice body, everything, right? And I just remember her one time posting a picture in her room, and her room was tore the fuck up. I was like, yo, like, so you just gonna post this with confidence, like you right. Cute, you know what I'm saying? But I'm looking on everything else around you, like you cleaned up. You worried about the wrong things.
And that's the thing is like, even if you cute, when I see that, it's kind of like, it take down some points now. All right, shit.
Exactly.
You all right, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
For real.
Dirty ass room. And I ain't saying that shit got, but god damn. All right, anyway, let me not dwell on that. Okay, let's go. 50-50 relationship. So Mo is saying, right? She don't really, it's not the thing. Okay, I feel that. Because the thing is, like, to use Torian's phrase, in a traditional relationship, right? It does always kind of like, I have seen a lot of times in the past where it's the man will pay for the rent or the mortgage, and then the woman will pick up the other stuff, light bill, cable, you know what I'm saying, water, that type of shit. You know what I mean? And which is very, very, that's always interesting, right? Not the fact that like the rent or the mortgage is more, but just the fact that, like, that's the biggest investment, or that's the biggest monetary thing that we have in common, is either this rent or this mortgage, and that's what you want to put on me. And I know some men who are saying, like, who say, no matter what, I'm paying that. You know what I'm saying? She can pay the other stuff, but I'm going. And I get it, man. Whatever works for you. Let me make that disclaimer before we continue moving on forward. This, whatever works for you in your relationship, right? We always say that on this show. If it's 50-50, is whatever. It's whatever works for you. But it is interesting though. Hold on, let me get my guy in here. My man Lionel just pulled up. Lionel, your damn camera look fuzzy as hell. Just some glare off the glass.
No, it is a little fuzzy. You need to wipe
You won't. Yeah, it's a little
white
look,
down.
Look. Do this to your
Okay,
camera.
hoes, I'll be right back.
I'm on wipe it down.
Like mama used to do. Go like this. Go.
That's sick.
I used to hate that shit when I was little. My mama, damn, when I see her say, come here, and she started licking her thumb, like, oh, she finna put all this goddamn shit on my face now,
Now you sticky.
No, yeah, that means you want cleaning your face.
Yeah, like, come on. There he go. The homie Lionel up in here tonight. What up? Hold on. I got you. Hold on. Let me get my whole. I got you. Let me get my whole ensemble together, Lionel. I'm finna match your fly. Hold on. Let me throw that on first. There we go.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
Exactly. You know what the fuck going on.
Yeah, represent. You dig?
Yeah, happy Wednesday, y'all. We back with another banger. What up?
Hey.
Banger after banger.
I know exactly.
You dig? Let's go, Lionel. 50-50 relationships, man. What say you? First of all, how would you define, if that's what we were just not talking about, how would you define a 50-50 relationship? It's just splitting everything in half, or are we just like splitting up bills in general? You got these, I got those. What would you consider 50-50?
For me, 50-50 is more practical. Like, so for me as a man, of course, and an intellectual, that too. But most importantly, me as a man, there's things that I just don't have the energy for, I feel. And sometimes that may revolve around the kids. Like, first of all, I can't even like build a baby if I wanted to. Like, I can't have a kid. I can't nurture one. Once they get here, I can't breastfeed it. So that's a lot of work off top. So she's already like close to 50 at that point before I even like woke up. Like, right. So I don't know. That's what I don't know. I see that as like a piece of the percentage, you know? And then so where I come in and compensate is like making sure that like all the shit's copacetic, like making sure this is clocked, that's lined up, that line is crossed, we made that a T, we dotted that, so it's an I. That's where I come in. That may look like rent, of course, like all the bills, but that's how we play, and that's how I would consider 50-50 to like look. Especially because I'm not a woman and she's not a man. Like, I wouldn't expect her to just be like hustling, bustling, and just like focused on a bag solely when we have like kids and like a lot of other things. She cares about me too, and like make sure like I'm doing like facials and like massages. Take care of yourself, slow down, stop drinking so much. Like all those things that I would just crash like a dummy. Like there she is. Like, hey, think about that. So that adds to the percentage too. So I feel like my 50 is like clock the bills, clock the experiences. I also bring like really cool creative experiences like for the family. Everybody like, here we about to do this weekend. Here's what we get into. Here's a nice meal. Those kinds of things, making sure I'm like the stitch and she's like the, I don't know, she's the stitch and I'm like the fabric of it all.
Got you.
So like that's how
So what Lionel is bringing the whole, you know, kind of what Mo was saying as well. It's a different aspect to it, to just, you know, necessarily a monetary 50-50. Right. Mm-hmm. It's a like you said, a more practical, right, of how the household is working as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's a big part of it, right? Of the relationship is that. But, you know, I know Torian like money, and I do too. So sometimes, God damn it, the dollars got to make sense as well. Because like I'm just saying, let's just say both of us are working and we got job. And look, what somebody makes now, look, that's a preference. Y'all might have to talk to Ebony K. Williams about that, depending on if you drive a bus or doing Uber. She might not mess with you, but sometimes I think we had a show about this a long time ago. We might have to do this again. But sometimes people get in relationships and they move in and they actually don't know exactly how much money their partner makes.
Oh yeah, I've heard.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, until you're living with somebody, they could be presenting one thing, and that shit is, it might not be reality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that could be a tricky thing now. That if you don't really know what this person makes. And that can be a tough conversation, you know what I'm saying, for some people to have. It's like, hey, so,
And you know what? Just to piggyback on that real quick, and a piece of advice that like anybody could take if it resonates, take it. If not, pay it. But then ultimately, my grandpa always told me like before I left San Antonio, went off to college and all the things, he like made it clear that whenever you're like gonna find a woman that you want to partner with and do life with, and you want to move together, don't go into the space or like into the place banking on both of y'all's income and like banking on that. Like, okay, I'm gonna get these bills with the understanding that I'm gonna have backup and like 50-50. That's scratch that as a man, because you want to go into the spaces to where you can provide for it top to bottom. That way you're not in that position to where it's like, okay, well, you're looking at her like, is that stressful? And that'll mess with the dynamic. Like, so whenever you're going to spaces, like forget keeping up with the Joneses and keeping up with people. Literally, whatever your salary is, make sure you find the space and all your bills fall under that, like a nice amount under that. So that way you can be comfortable, pop your shit on the weekends too. And on a Wednesday if you want to.
Yeah.
So I'm like never considering like what this person's making. I'm always like, okay, as if like I need all the things I need, right? They need all the things they need. So what? Like I'm not gonna be like, hey, about like nope, not happening. Maybe it's my pride. But that's a piece of advice from my grandpa.
No, shout out to your grandpa. That was some good game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What say you, Mo? When we go back to these quote unquote, because we're gonna get to Torian here in a second, because he's trying to get quiet with him in his hat. But what say you though, Mo, in a traditional relationship, right? I know what you mentioned earlier that hey, I prefer this, but I'm just saying, let's just say the scenario, two working people are together, right? Is it important at some point to at least have an idea of what your mate makes?
I definitely feel it is important if y'all gonna like live together. I think it's at least to have, like you said, an idea. I don't need to know necessarily down to dollars and cents, but I mean a salary range type of thing or something, because I mean we're like at this point because we're combining our household, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it doesn't make sense to me to just be in the dark about those things. Now, to Lionel's point, as an independent woman for myself, like how I've been for a long time, like I've always made sure that no matter what, I can cover myself and I got me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not even just the fact that it's like I can't say that I can get myself, because I'm always make sure I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like if you're planning on taking that step, like I don't think that should be like taboo. Like there shouldn't be a topic that's like, oh, well, we don't need to talk about that, because it's like, let's be real, this is the real world. Like, and if things happen, I need to know that too, because if I need to pick up my portion, I need to pick up my, hustle on my side.
Right.
That's important for me to know as well. So it's like, I think that openness and that honesty is important if you're going to try and combine a household or just live with one another, because I mean, like you said, and we've talked about this before, where people, will put on some sort of like facade that this is what I'm doing, this is what I got going on, and I just got bread, and the whole time you got bad credit, you got hella loans out the ass, like, I'm saying, like, and like I'm sorry, but I can't let you or allow you to bring me down with those things as well. You know what I'm saying? Because that can also happen in a situation. So I think that openness when it comes to it is definitely important. Again, it doesn't have to be to the T. We ain't got to show each other our check stubs and shit. Like, that's doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, I need to understand that, I can, still in a way, if I am going to depend on you, that I can depend on you, that, okay, you're going to take care of your part and do what you're supposed to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, because like sometimes, man, like like you said, you're getting with somebody, y'all are now making a decision to move in together, and you don't know what they're finding. Two things: one, you don't know what their finances are, and in turn, you don't know what their financial responsibility is, right? Because they may actually be getting a bag,
Mhm.
but they tricking it off because they want to go and dress fly, so they gotta when they get paid, it's 25% of the check go to the mall. You know what I'm saying? So they gotta, you know what I mean? So that can become an issue as well because like, whoa, hold on. And like one of the hardest things in a relationship, man, is to talk to your partner about their spending habits.
Yes, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Because now all of a sudden we talking about these bills and how we splitting them and all this shit. So I gotta say, hey, Torian, yo, listen, I hear you. I know you like hats. Shit, how many you need? I mean, I'm looking. You didn't bought 3 hats the last, the last 3 paychecks. Now, hold on. Now, them hats is 125 a pop. Goddamn. How many hats do you? You know what I mean? No, I'm just.
Right.
Torian, are you drinking Cayman Jacks?
Hey,
Yeah, I'm on my most shit tonight.
Oh,
period. Drink another one for me because I can't.
but no, I think that finance I've always said that I think that finance, at least having an idea, because some people are uncomfortable. It's funny because I've been in situations where like I've asked a person and they were still uncomfortable with giving me. They just gave me like a range. They hit me with a bunch of. I mean, if I do, depending on how much overtime, nigga, just stop. Like listen,
Yeah, look, that's already a red flag for me because what you mean, depending?
right.
Nah.
I was talking to the young lady and I was like, she gave me a bunch of like overtime talk. I was like, I've been with you for 6 months. I ain't seen you work a minute of overtime yet.
Okay, see, and it sounds good. It sounds good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, okay, that's theoretically what your payout could be, but you're not even doing that.
Right.
So why are we talking about this?
Look at hey, I'm with you, Stan. Them bags.
Hey, get off my stuff. Let me tell you. Yeah, I got them hanging up.
Make sure it's hanging on the side too.
This is King Telly.
Right. Not
Hey, hold on. Quick story, real quick, 30 seconds. My mom was because my mom lived down the H, and she was looking for some of those bags. And she was trying to tell me, I didn't know what the hell she was talking about at first. I said, you talking about the bags the bags that Torian got every color of. She said, who the hell is Torian? I said, on my show. She was like, I don't know who you talking about. Because she don't be watching the show. But I was like, oh, don't worry about it. I said, Torian got every color. I said, I need to give you Torian number so he can tell you where to get them damn bags at. Anyway, when I'm looking for a bag, Torian, I might have to hit you up. She want one. She wants like 2 specific colors. So
well, look, Mother's Day is this Sunday.
I know. So we need that bag, Torian. anyway, my fault. But okay. No, I think that we're going 50-50 in a relationship. Let's just go with this scenario. Again, we're talking, it could be a traditional relationship or, LGBTQ, whatever. But let's just say one person makes significantly more money. Not to say that your bag ain't good. Let's just say your bag is above an average bag. So you getting paper. You can put cheese on a burger. You did.
Okay.
But the other person is making a pretty substantial bag, right? And they come to you and say, hey, on these bills, I think what we should do is, just, split everything. Is there any problem with that? Right? Because everybody independent. You know what I'm saying? Is everybody cool with that now?
Yeah, I mean, that's cool, but don't be trying to ask me why I don't got, the excess like you got at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's going to be a problem where I don't have the excess to be doing this and whatever, like, there's going to be a difference somewhere. So if, you don't be coming down on me if that's the case, because I'll uphold my end. But whenever you don't see me shopping for shit and planning vacations, you know why. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you obviously make more money than I do. So. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like you should be willing to take a bigger step anyway.
If you make right. I mean, but some people again, I'm with you. It's the reality. I mean, it seems like on the surface, right? Like if you make more money, you should be like, all right. But that comes back to that conversation. And it comes back to even that person makes more money, but what is their debt like? Again, these are all conversations that should be had, I believe. I don't think necessarily when y'all start dating or when y'all get serious, but I do think before y'all move in together, that should be a conversation of, how much do you, at least a figure around or some, range of how much you make, and also how much debt you have, because that could affect. Because just because you make 100,000, if you got X amount of bills, like just student loans or credit card debt, or you got a high car note. Let's say it be motherfuckers with like 2 cars, what I'm saying, living in an apartment, but they got 2 big time luxury cars that's like $700 car notes each. That's a big chunk.
That's crazy.
Or child support. You know what I'm saying? So it could be anything. So like all those things are questions. But I personally know 2 dudes who live in apartments with 2 cars that are paying upwards of $600 a month on both vehicles. And that's wild. That's wild.
That's just the note too. We ain't even talking insurance. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
To the insurance. Okay, let's get into our first clip though that we want to react to. This comes to us from TikTok. This is a young lady that she's talking about the downside of 50-50 relationships and why you should not do it. Have a 50-50 relationship. So let's listen to her and we'll react to this. Let's go.
50% of anything in her home, she runs the place. Okay.
Hold on, let me bring it back. Hold on, let me bring it back from the beginning.
If a woman pays 50% of anything in her home, she runs the place. Okay. It's not both. It's not equal, because she does way more work. And so she's going to pull rank if she pays any type of, 50-50 roommate situation. The man will never pull rank in a 50-50 situation, ever. The woman will always rule that house and always second guess him and always correct him and always make sure he's doing correct. He will never feel like a man in his own home, ever. He will have to run everything past her. And if he doesn't, she's going to yell at him. So that's why I don't believe in 50-50 marriages or, relationships, because the man ends up being like the woman. Y'all might as well be in a lesbian relationship. Okay. And I know guys don't want to hear that. Men do not want to hear that. You cannot have any type of respect if you're going 50-50. And men do know this. So if a man asks you as a woman to go 50-50, you're not the one, because he don't need your respect, because you're a placeholder. You're a placeholder, because he would never, if you were the one, he would never ask you to pay anything, because he would never get your respect, or you would never value him as a man. So he already plans to leave you if he's asking you for 50-50. He don't even care what you think of him. He don't even care if you respect him, because you're holding a place for the other woman that he's able to save for, since you're paying 50% of all the bills. Okay, so don't do it. It's never worth it. And they may say all.
Can't hear you, Mo. I mean,
let's pause her because she keeps going. But let me lead off on this. I think she should have maybe prefaced that with saying, when she was saying what a woman wouldn't do, what she wouldn't do. Let me put it that way. I think she said, right? Like it seems like she wouldn't, that like she wouldn't respect you. She would try to pull rank, right?
mm-hmm.
I think those are all attributes that she's putting on all women that may be individual to her, right?
Agree with that.
I don't know that that's the case for all women, right? Like if I'm doing the best I can financially with what I have, it may be, it's women out there. Maybe her and Ebony K. Williams aren't those women, but maybe Mo is like, shit, this nigga doing his thing. He working, he handling his business. I'm making a little bit more money, but hey, we splitting 50-50. It's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I love him. He loves me. We good. That's enough for a lot of people, right? Yeah. But so I'm just gonna put that out there. But what y'all think about what she said though?
I definitely think I feel like it's all situational, really. But like, I feel like from her standpoint, it's if like the guy is making enough money. But I feel like in these 50-50 conversations, it's never about like the reality of things, like, and especially for Black people, our people, like we not always, that some people not always go have a nice job or be able to have a nice job, and
right.
And I feel like some women just suspect that, if you was not with me, you'll be able to pay these bills. But in some cases, like these dudes be having roommates and then they get together with somebody,
Yeah.
And that's not bad, but it's like the truth. Like some people was living how they could, and they couldn't afford to like live on their own and like take care of everything, so they got a roommate. and now to get a relationship, you expected him just to pay everything, but he wasn't doing that before, you know. And I'm sure if he had the means to pay for everything, he would, you know. But that's not the reality for everybody. Everybody don't have the means to pay everything, you know, and it's not because they don't want to, you know, it's sometimes they can't, you know, they can't find the right job, they can't move up, you know. So I feel like that what she putting out there is harmful, and it's like it's attacking people, even though that might not be her intentions, or you know, that's not what she's trying to really put out there, but it's gonna hurt some people because it's like, damn, now you calling me not a man, but
Yeah.
I'm working my hardest to do what I can for my family. I'm sorry that I don't have this luxury job and to give all to my woman, but I love my woman. You know, I will take a bullet for my woman. You know, so yeah.
I think that's real talk. You know what I'm saying? It's like because like man, look, and I'm gonna sound like well, let me preface let me be careful how I'm gonna say this, but sometimes, right, it love is one thing, finances is another. Let me put it that way, right? Because like you can love somebody, right? And like you like, yo, you know, they don't got all the money in the world, but like the way this person treats me, the way this person cares for me, how they are attentive to my needs, that's what I'm attracted to, right? And the finances, we can figure that out on the back end. You know what I'm saying? Like we can make that work. Because the reality is, if people are being honest, most of the time financially you can figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can figure it out. It might not be a life of luxury. You might not be able to get on TikTok and IG. Hold on, somebody shit sound crazy. Who is
Right?
this?
I'm like, what's that?
I got a fan.
Okay, that was Lionel. Lionel was acting crazy. Uh,
I don't know what I feel like it's just the air conditioner. There's nothing
okay,
happening.
yeah, it's gone now. Yeah, it's gone
Is
now.
it?
But anyway, though, I was just saying though, like sometimes, like you know, like fine, but like again, if you look at why people get divorced, most of the time it is because of finances. So like money does play a role. And like there are some women who just strictly say if it's 50-50, I ain't going. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? You need to be there.
If
Um,
we start with that fact right there, like so many marriages end because of finances, that's really something to look at. That's why I feel like with her, what she was saying, I feel like it wasn't far fetched. It wasn't so off the mark. I feel like that's like on the subconscious and on that innate level. Like you might not like consciously think about this, you're a man like that, and you paying 50-50 because you in survival mode, but you gotta go to work in the morning. So you might not be thinking about that on a conscious level, but subconsciously you can totally feel like I'm sure she's right. Like I feel like that's just speaking to the nature of it. Like, and it's not like women aren't like making men feel like a way or just like responding differently whenever they gotta put their money up. Like that's a real thing. So imagine like a woman having to be in that position, live like that when she doesn't want to. And then like I guess that's why I feel like it's good to speak about it. And then the mature thing to do would be like instead of like trying to be in a relationship or putting your focus onto like a person, like get yourself stable enough to where you can like operate like that and like you can take care of yourself and somebody else if you need to, like as the man, versus being like, damn, I want you, but I can hardly even like fend for myself 100%. That's a real thing because people are just moving with like their heart. And yeah, that's emotion. That's an emotional decision. And that's not how we move in ultimately as men. So you have to think logically, I'm gonna need to be able to provide this for myself and for another person potentially. Not if they aren't like, you could have a woman that's like, yeah, come like that, take care of my shit. I'm not pulling my wallet out. Or you could have a woman that's getting right there with you, but the chance you take is gonna be one or the other. So you need to be prepared for both, and like you need to be able to take care of yourself, her, and then potentially if you get her pregnant, what about that? That's a whole other thing. Now what you gonna do? So that's like the first and foremost. So that's like before you leave high school. Like you need to be focused on like, damn, I gotta establish myself in this bitch. Oh shit, I'm about to be in the world for real.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, though, Lionel. Let's say your lady writes a book tomorrow and
Mm-hmm.
it takes off, right? And
Mm-hmm.
now she's a best-selling author and she's bringing in a bag and she gets a deal for a 3-book deal, right? And it's a bag coming in all based on her writings, right? At that point now she's bringing in a significantly bigger bag based on what what she's doing. are you feeling any different about yourself?
No.
That's what I'm saying, right?
At least
Because that's
consciously, like
huh?
at least consciously, like I don't think that would affect me at all.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like the young lady was saying that, like, hey, she's not gonna respect you as a man. And see, for me, that was the thing that I kept picking up on, because you're talking about like all of a sudden, because you listen to Torian's point, as black folks, we got to be very, very clear about what the statistics say. If you don't want to believe them, that's fine. But if we're gonna live in a reality, we got to really believe something, right? In terms of the stats, the stats say, especially black males, number one, first of all, I think black women are like the most educated people, I think, like of all demographics, like are black women, right? So like, and black men are the total opposite end of that spectrum in terms of education and in terms of income. So we got to be very, very clear about what the situation potentially is if you want to get with a black person, right? If you want to get with someone of your race, what the potential situation is financially. Number one. Number two, once you get in that situation and that person is now doing that, you got to make a decision, right? Like, but the whole thing of he won't feel like a man. I'm a man no matter what, right? Torian's a man no matter what.
Right.
Lionel's a man no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's three men on this screen, no matter what the fuck, nobody, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the reality. You know what I'm saying? Like it's if my wife wakes up tomorrow and is making $1 million a day, I'm no less of a man. You know what I'm saying? Like now, if she wants to start acting different because she's making $1 million a day, now that may be a conversation, but as a man, I'm going to have that conversation with her, right? And we're going to decide what we're going to do based on that conversation. But I don't think that somebody is less of a man, because she was on this whole, like, you know, she's not going to treat him like a man and she's going to pull rank. Again, that's based on how your household is set up, right? First of all, when she started talking about that whole pull rank thing, that's very, patriarchal, right? So I don't know how with me and my wife, we just on some, like, on most things, I'll admit she probably will ask me for quote unquote last say so on most things, right? But it's some stuff that she's better at than me. It's just the reality of our relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like Lionel was mentioning earlier. So on some stuff, she's better at it than I am. I acknowledge it. She acknowledges it. So she rocks out with that, right? Like I might be like, hey, so why'd you do that? Oh, okay, because of it. Okay, cool. All right, do your thing, right? She's better at that than me. And that's okay. But I didn't like when she was coming up with this whole, because, and I'll land my plane, I'll park my car on this. Because a lot of times when people get into this whole alpha male, beta male conversation, they want to use those types of things. I hate those conversations because I don't think that finances make you one way or the other. You are what, in the immortal words of the great poet Sean Jay-Z Carter, man, you was who you was before you got here.
Yep.
No, I definitely feel that, because I just don't like when they try to demean somebody and say he's not a man. Like, you can add all these other adjectives on that. Like, you can say you got a good man because he's doing all of that, but don't take away from a man who can't, support it. I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, if the man got the money, I'm pretty sure he goes spend it, and her whole thing was just tearing down men who might not be there, and it's not fair to them. I'm sure they want to be able to do that, and they want to have this good job, and they might be struggling, they might not have the education to get there, but they trying, so it's unfair to tell them that they don't deserve to be in a relationship, they don't deserve to be married and stuff like that.
Right.
When they found they love, they here, and she willing to be down with him and help him in the dirt, whatever, in the gutter. But you don't feel like I don't like when you try to demean somebody and take away him being a man just because he's not doing what you would do or what you expect to be done.
Look, I don't know if I don't know if they still together or not, but I don't think that Party is getting as big a bag as Megan is getting right now.
I think he might. He a ghostwriter.
Man, he ain't getting that Megan bag. Megan getting a different. I don't know who the fuck he ghost rolling, but he might have ghost rolled some dope shit recently.
I
But
feel like
Megan,
Megan does have a couple 360s too.
he
okay,
I mean, allegedly he ghostwriting for Cardi B, you know.
okay, it might be bad. So maybe that's a bad example. But let's just say on the surface, let's say he wasn't a ghostwriter, right? Let's
Right.
just say that was just the nigga that she was rocking with, right? And we know Megan is out here and she doing her thing. I wouldn't look at Party and say he's even okay. Hold on, let's go here. Let's go with because we did a whole goddamn show on this. Let's go Rihanna and ASAP.
Mm-hmm.
We can all agree that ASAP ain't getting $1 billion because they told me Riri worth $1 billion.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I don't think ASAP is any less of a man. Now, look, I don't know what goes on in their household. I'm just giving you my perspective, right?
Right.
But it's like there's a tone and like knowing Rihanna and just like use that as like the woman, right? Like I'm sure there's just a tone that like translates with.
Look,
It's not
and
saying
look,
we don't be in a relationship, but it's just saying like what she was saying in that video. I feel like has some facts to it because
I'm with you. No,
like,
I agree, Lionel.
and then so if
I
the
agree.
woman, if she has like the like, she might just be subconsciously like feeling like shit or like coming like this, not even knowing why, or like she's being so short or whatever the case may be. But ultimately, your job as a man is to provide. So finances are hand in fucking hand with that. No matter which way you want to flip it, you can't provide with no nutsack, and you can't provide with no dirt from outside or no lead. So you have to be financially like at least focused enough to be able to say, bitch, I can pay $500 in rent a month. I'm not gonna ask you for $500 so you can have $1,000. We're gonna have to do a 500 bitch. If you don't want to do it, then I'm gonna just have to catch you at the top. Like that's the reality. It's like so it's not like because there is a part of the woman's like that wants to be provided for and taken care of. Like how we take the same woman and have her like having the responsibility of half the bills, and then take the same woman, put her in a situation where she doesn't have that responsibility, and then talk to her about it. So it's like we can pacify ourselves, especially looking at the statistics as black men. Black women didn't just get to the top, most educated, get in the bags because like they're like, okay, well, like no, there's you have to literally have these conversations, put your mind in your bag because that's important, especially as a black man. That's how they fucked us up was saying, give it to the woman. Like they trying to give this energy to the woman. Now the woman's out here masculine as hell and she coming like that and grabbing her nuts. Like no, you have to really get in your bag. You gotta stand 10 toes down in the fact that you are a provider, and that's the bottom line.
Okay, let me go here. Let me add the other side of the coin for women. Let's go to this conversation on. I believe the name of the show is Uncut. Let's go.
Yeah, I watch this podcast.
They said the man pay all the bills. All right, so since both of y'all make money, what do you do with your money?
I pay some bills too.
Oh, okay.
Like I help him run the businesses. You know what I'm saying? If he the CFO, I'm the COO, right? So I help him run the businesses. We both cook. We both do pick up and drop off at school. He do the soccer game, I do the soccer game. He grocery shop, I grocery shop. It's not even thinking about who pay it because if it come in the house, he paying it first. Whoever opened it first gonna pay it. That's how our system works. If we go to the restaurant and my wallet is closest, I'm paying it. I'm not even thinking about who pay it first. It's whoever see it first get it paid. Babe is done. I took care. Okay, I got it. We going on vacation. I might pay for the vacation. He might pay for the vacation. I ain't even thinking that much about it, to be honest. It's a partnership.
Should be thinking about it.
There you go. So that sister's saying, you know, if she got a big, she ain't even tripping on it. Whoever got it, got it.
Right. And I thoroughly believe in, I've always believed in like one of those types of partnerships where it's like, you know, because that's kind of how it just has to be sometimes, where it's like, you know, if I don't got it, then you got it. And if you don't got it, then I got it. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. Like there's nothing wrong with that. I did want to say something about the video that we did watch about that woman, because I was going to say that I feel like a woman that speaks in that way has already decided off rip that she doesn't respect a man that does or doesn't do certain things. So that's already like, you already at a loss with a woman like that, because she already has her mind made up about who she will not respect based off of financial decisions that are being made, or, you know, type of bag that you got. And I mean, first of all, the first thing I'm going to say is that we all see the state of the world right now, the type of shit that's going on. It's not easy out here, and it's not getting any easier. You know what I'm saying? So that's off top. Like you got, I mean, that's not to say not to put any effort. I'm definitely the type where I pay attention to effort. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not always about like, oh yeah, what are you or aren't you doing? What are you doing to adjust your situation? What effort are you putting in constantly to change what it is that you got going on, to strive toward what you want? Like that's to me the most important thing. Effort is everything. Because if you
Right.
have no effort, like we're not gonna get anywhere. We're never gonna get to any point. But I mean, I feel like she's already made her decision. That's why I'm glad that you said so she's speaking mainly for herself because
Facts.
like you already decided that if a man is gonna, if he is even able and allows you to go 50-50 with you, you already don't respect him off rip. But like I mean, to each their own. You can look for a man that's not going to do those types of things. Like, I mean, you're absolutely entitled to wanting what you want from certain people, but I don't believe entirely in just disrespecting men because they aren't pulling weight financially or like that. Like, I just don't believe in that. And it's also because in a partnership, there's so much more than finance at the end of the day. Like there's so much more involved than just bills. Like, and like you said, there are strengths that people hold. Like there are people I have literally met, women that I have met that don't like cooking, don't like doing womanly traditional shit. They don't like doing those types of things. I'd rather be out, making bread or like just, doing other things rather than that. And they want a man that's like, I would rather him have a meal ready for me coming home whenever I'm coming off of work, or like he keeping the house clean and stuff like that. He has maybe a little more time to do
Hold on, Mo. You know what they're gonna call that kind of man, right?
what?
A good man.
A beta male.
Yeah, look at
And that's
you.
the thing, and that's the thing. And I guess yes to the traditional.
Damn, Lionel left on that note. Lionel said you
Ah.
talking.
But
Not agreeing with what I'm saying.
like roles, I guess I can understand why people would say that, but it's like, yo, like we said, people have different strengths. And
Facts.
another thing for me is that let's go back to the Rihanna and ASAP Rocky situation. Yeah, maybe they're not in the same tax bracket, but I thoroughly believe that Riri is putting him on at the same time. Like she's
Right.
not just being like, oh, what's this? Is it's like I'm literally putting you in positions to make yourself better and to become better in your own way. And that's where, again, that effort comes in. What are you going to do with these opportunities that I'm opening up for you? Because y'all know me, and I talk about it all the time. I love me Upgrade You by Beyonce. That's one of my favorite songs from her. She's talking that shit in that song. And I love that empowerment shit because, yes, there's nothing wrong with upgrading your man and bring him up to that level with you. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
like, that's what I believe is going on in that situation personally, based off of what I see. Because now, I'm saying, of course, just being with Riri, like, we already are more exposed to him. He's getting more, publicity. He's getting more of this and probably more opportunities just being by her side. And again, now it's like, what are you going to do with it? That's why I come back to effort so much, because now if I'm putting you on and you just not doing shit with it, now that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm like, okay, like you just kind of trying to ride my coattails. And it's like, no, I like that, to me, that's a man is whenever like you are putting that effort to really, better yourself in your situation, no matter what it means, like no matter what, you know what I'm saying? No matter what it is that you make in, whatever position you're in, like you are constantly putting that effort and working to yourself. So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I definitely feel like she just kind of, that one girl was just already decided she don't respect men that will go 50-50
Right.
period. Even if you want to go 60-40, 70-30, 80-20, it don't matter. She don't respect you because you don't want to do it all. And okay, sure.
Yeah, that's a perspective. Listen, I agree with Lionel from the perspective of that's a perspective, right? I do think that like it's a percentage of women. I don't know what that percentage is that rock with that, and I understand it. I might date myself with this reference, but I remember when rest in peace, when Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown were married, and at the time Whitney Houston was the biggest damn star in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And she was doing some concerts overseas. She was in, I believe, like Saudi Arabia or somewhere. And it was with like all these kings and, these big, people that were like ruling these countries. And it was a big controversy in the like papers because she had Bobby with her, obviously, but they had her performing. But before, like when she would come to like all these, massive kings and dictators in these countries, and they would come over to her first, she would always put Bobby in front of her and make them shake Bobby's hand first. Because, and they asked her, like, hey, why do you keep doing that? She said, because that's my husband. And she said, in the way our relationship is set up, he's the head of our household.
Okay, period.
So she was like, even though they paid for me to come here, he's the head of my household, so they need to acknowledge him first. And I always remember that as a young kid. I always remember that because I was like, yo, that's dope, because even though she's making way more money than goddamn Bobby Brown, at that time, she was like, yo, this is my husband, this is my king, he's the head of my household. Acknowledge him first, right? If we're gonna go on that traditional road, right? Of like, don't try to come and like shake my hand and make it seem like I'm out front. No. I got somebody that's the head of me as well, which was interesting, right? Because some people were like, oh, well, why is she even doing? It was a big controversy at the time, but I think it's apropos for this conversation because, like, even in that, she was willing to say, yo, this is my husband, shake his hand first, and then me and you can shake hands, but I need you to acknowledge him. Going back to that first young lady, acknowledge him as a man, right? Because sometimes that can be emasculating somebody to just go straight to their wife and shake their hand first because she's the one who's more known, who makes more money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But she made sure that no. You're gonna shake his hand first before you come to me. Which is, I always remember that as a young man to like, so that like is in this conversation, I feel like that's apropos.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like with those situations with like the Riri and ASAP and in like the Whitney and Bobby, I feel like in those it's a little bit different still because they're both still like celebrities and they both still had the finances to pay.
Right. Yeah.
So ASAP, I'm pretty sure is still paying all the rent, whatever the case may be.
Is he?
Torian, hold on, Torian. You think they actually rent properties out? No. Huh? I'm sure they have multiple properties, not renting like spots.
Right. I can't feel that he's paying rent. I doubt I'm not going to say I doubt, but I can't confidently say that he's paying all the bills. But I feel like now that we're talking about it, I was going to say that whenever you're in a role like that where y'all both making money, I feel like that's probably not a concern that they really have. Like, they're not worried about that shit because I'm good, you good, we taking care of shit. Like, we're not worried about like who's paying what. You know what I'm saying? Because regardless, like we're taking care of our own shit. Like,
she pregnant again, so clearly he's still fucking. So
right? Like it's
probably stop fucking, honestly.
I mean, they just both paying. I mean, they like Mo said, they probably just both paying it. Or in the case of them, it's probably more so what that girl was saying. Like, it's just whoever the shit is closer to, because we both got the money. Right. In any case, if Rihanna needed the money back, she could probably be like, ASAP, I paid for the dinner. Like, let me get that $500 back. Or whatever the case may be. It might be that for them, but I feel like the lady was speaking more on like regular people relationships.
Let's go there. I'm with you, Torian. Let's go there. Let's talk regular
average people. It's like
right. Let's go there.
Doesn't really matter because they got funds to pay unless like Rihanna house. I mean, I'm pretty sure she bought her house already. Whatever the case may be, but like ASAP can afford to pay like probably light bills and all this shit because the house is owned already. And
I don't want to interrupt, but let me just interrupt real quick because pay attention. And from what I've seen, at least from Rihanna, we clearly don't know her, but from what I've seen from her, she's like really a powerful, assertive, strong thinking. Like, she's coming really like clearly we don't know what happened in that car, but something happened in that car, and I'm sure the energy's there. She got big energy. Yeah. And so I feel like that may have potentially been like, okay, she had a billionaire guy. But at the end of the day, when you have somebody that's like making more money than you, she's not gonna be able to handle the billionaire like she can potentially handle ASAP. And like, especially with somebody that strong. That's why I feel like that is the factor. Like, there's this undercurrent of a thing that like doesn't get spoken about, but it's so real. And that's the part. So I feel like the goal, making it so you like want to work or like earn and like do this, like Whitney, absolutely, performing for Kings and Royals, phenomenal. Or like, oh yeah, you want to be an esthetician, chase that dream and literally do it up, like every piece of it, top to bottom. That's phenomenal. But not like because you have to go into this damn call center because I need you to do the other half. Like, those are two different things. Like, do it because you want to, and like as your man and as your provider, that's important to me. Like you being able to providing not only like the funds, but providing freedom for you to be able to dream, bitch. Providing freedom for you to be able to.
Dream, bitch.
A great example of that too is Tabitha Brown and her husband Chance too, because she was on the climb. You know, she's big. If y'all know Tabitha Brown, I'm
Yeah.
assuming everyone knows who she is at this point. But yeah, Tab was on that same thing where it's like, you know, he was providing, you know, doing his you know, job and stuff like that, doing, you know, his career, whatever, to help her, to put her in a position to chase her dreams. Now she's really the breadwinner in the relationship. She blew up, you know what I'm saying, and is got deals here and there. She's with Target now, you know what I'm saying, like.
Right.
Yo, and now her husband's in a position to be able to chase his dreams, and she's able to do that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think that that necessarily is a concern once you reach that level, because it's like now it's really about, I want to say more so the happiness of y'all's partnership and y'all's relationship and what each of y'all as an individual want and as a couple. Because what was I going to say about the Ree and ASAP Rocky thing? I was going to say about like just these are problems I don't think that they really have, because Riri has had richer men in her past. You know what I'm saying? She's been with what that prince from wherever he was from and shit, like people who got money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like obviously that's not necessarily the main factor.
She's with the soccer dude, right?
Soccer dude.
Some soccer dude.
I don't know,
I know the prince, the one from like, you know, overseas somewhere. I don't remember where he
was with like some soccer dude that had a big ass bag. But go ahead.
Yeah, so that's why I'm just like, I don't think that that's really a major concern at that point. Yeah, maybe it is more so about like, okay, well, like let's just put each other on now because like we got the bread to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like let's keep this money train going. Let's keep this dream going, like to wherever heights it take us. But
like Lionel, could you be? And I'm not talking about her politics. I'm just talking about the position. Pause. Could you be Kamala Harris's husband?
Absolutely. Look at me. I can easily be a first husband, first man.
I'm just saying that because, like, you know, from an American perspective, we say technically Kamala Harris is the second most powerful person in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? She's the vice president of the United States. That makes her the second most powerful person on the damn planet.
And I don't take my eyes off the prize, like, which is like, that's why this is important for me, because even though, yeah, she is powerful. What does a woman want when she has a man? Like, especially if she has her own money, that stuff still matters. Like, even if you got $13 and she's Kamala Harris, like the fact that you got that $8 like rose before you went home and like
right.
To her, even though she could buy, she can get a rose wall. All these walls will have roses. That doesn't fucking matter, because what matters is the fact that she has a man by her side that thinks about her enough to make sure that these things are taken care of, loves her enough to like go the extra mile to see it through. And that's the factor. Like, she can, like, my girl can buy anything she wants and she can have any dress. But the difference is when I said, I would love to see you in this dress. I got this for you. I think it look good on you. Like, shit, make her feel like a woman. That's the thing. Like, I want to feel like a man coming out from the gym. I cook down. Like, and that's the reality. But coming from the gym, I'm not trying to cook like, even if you don't want to cook, babe, if you have food ready, that's a thing. And I appreciate that from the bottom of my nuts. Like, seriously. So, but it's not like I can't get my own food. It's not like, you know, but that's the part. Like, that's the part that's like the undercurrent, I feel. And so when that's like overlooked or just like, whatever, it's like here or there, then it's still prevalent. It may be clocking you in the back of your head. You don't even realize it.
You know what I think it is? And I'll frame it maybe a little bit different, Lionel, is I think that, like, that's, to your point, that woman that has chosen that man, she wants that man to make her feel like a woman or feel appreciated, right? She wants, like, of course she can go and get whatever she wants to, but damn, it feels good when Lionel gets it for me. You know what I'm saying? When whoever her man is gets it for her. Yeah, she can probably buy a whole bouquet of roses, but if the man that she chose brings her a single rose home randomly, that might mean a lot. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when you choose to Mo's point, I think that may be what that first young lady is potentially missing out on the whole, because she's going into it thinking, if you can't provide X amount, then I'm not going to respect you as a man.
Yep.
She may be missing out on those little bitty, because what I've learned in my marriage at this point is that, like all the old people say, it's never the big things. It's truly the small things. That's truly what it is. It's the small shit. You know what I'm saying? Like me, listen, me and my wife been together for a long time. I don't wash dishes. It's some shit that I just refuse to do. I don't like it. I never liked it. I don't do it. I don't wash no damn dishes. I'm not gonna do it, right? So if for her that was a non-negotiable, we'll be broken up. Because it's just some shit I just don't do, right? I'm just never gonna wash a dish. I'm gonna put that motherfucker, I'm just not a fan. I'm gonna put it in the sink. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be honest. I got two non-negotiables.
That's
I don't
crazy.
wash dishes and I don't like burping. That's it. That's pretty much it.
You don't like other burp, or you don't like burping yourself?
No, I don't like women burping. That shit grosses me out.
That's crazy.
Like Naomi.
I swear to
Right.
you,
Like, what?
Naomi be like, "Don't be burping. That's so manly." She's like,
it grosses me.
So
the
she
fuck
could
out.
fart,
Like,
but she can't burp.
No. Fart. I put farting and burping in the exact same category.
I
She
mean,
can't sneeze too.
I can understand the fart portion because, like, I really don't like when people fart around me.
That's what I'm saying. The reason I always say
Burping, I mean, I can't. I mean, that's something different. But like, she coming out your
reason-
ass, bro. Like, stop it.
The reason I say burping and not farting is because most people have general respect to just not fart in front of motherfuckers, right? Most folks. But some
Yeah, you
people,
think so.
some women are super okay with just being like, "Ugh." I'm like, no, like,
Why shouldn't they? It's a natural thing.
fuck out of here. I don't like it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't like
it. She got burp. Like,
it. Sorry, I don't like it.
so you want her to get up and then go to the bathroom to go burp and then come back.
do that shit. I just don't like it. And look, sometimes a burp comes out of nowhere, so I understand it. I'm just talking about when you just sit there and just go, like, like it's your name. You know what I'm saying? Like, goddamn, you might as well you might as well sit here and scratch your nuts now. What the fuck?
Y'all is something else. I mean, I guess I don't feel you.
Oh, look at Naomi jumped in the chat. Women should not be burping. Shout out to my sister Naomi. She's crazy.
Not you in the chat and they text us back. Okay.
No, she should definitely be burping.
All
That's
that.
how Naomi be eating that shit up. She said she
Equal rights. They want equal rights. Give them
They want equal rights to burp. Nah, that's just my thing, though. But okay, let me go. I think we got one more. You got one more clip? I think we got one more. Let's go here. We got one more clip. And this is a gentleman. He brings a different perspective because he's talking about relationships in general just being transactional. So let's go here. Let's listen to this.
Find relationships to be transactional.
Yes.
Like all of them.
Everything is transactional. Breathing is a transaction.
I just hate the word transaction. A transaction means I'm bartering to me. It means that I'm only coming to you because I need something from you. Using each other.
We're a social animal.
Okay.
We need each other to survive. Parents need their children to continue the bloodline, aka to not go extinct. So there's nothing wrong with needing. There's nothing wrong with using people incorrectly. That's how you break stuff. You use a hammer to hold open the door.
Right.
You break the hammer. You use it as a fork. You break your teeth. Fundamentally, if things are truly transactional from a very clear space, everybody benefits because, like, oh, you're valuable to me. How are you valuable to me? Because you have value, which means you're useful, which means you're to be used. You can't say that someone's valuable to you and say you don't believe in transactions. Saying this is valuable, I want this, I need this. That's a beautiful thing. I need you because you're so valuable is romantic.
I like that explanation.
Yeah.
Do you find relationships to be transactional?
Yes.
Like all of them.
Okay, let's go. Okay, that's the end of that. Okay. I think, let me just say this and I'll let y'all run with it. I think he found a very clever explanation for that shit. I'm not sure that I like that, what he was saying. What say y'all?
I don't like it. Simply because I mean some things don't have to be so I don't know. They just don't have to be put in certain ways. Like I understand where he's coming from. I 100% like I get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it doesn't necessarily make sense, but it's like, damn, like, it's okay to find joy at the same time in things, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's the right way of saying it, but it's like it doesn't have to be, everything doesn't have to be dissected in that way, if that makes sense. Like I don't like that term, that everything is transactional, like, because I mean, damn.
Right.
Like, it's just so American, in my opinion, to say. Like, that's such
Totally.
an American thing to say. Like, because that's all people think about is transactions and benefits and things like that. And yes, of course, yes, there are beneficial things, but I don't think it's to be put that way. I don't know how to say it. It's really hard to explain.
Okay, Jasmine said before the rest of y'all go. Jasmine said they are transactional, whether it be emotionally or financially. You want something out of it.
Mhm. That's why I feel like transactional may have a certain like connotation to it, but like the actual like definition of it isn't so bad. Like it really, that's the thing. We're exchanging energy in this bitch. Like that's the reality. We in this realm giving it up. And so like you only giving it up to who you getting something back from. You're not gonna be giving it up and be like, bitch, what the fuck? Like what? Like, you're gonna need something back. And you up here coming like this and like that. Otherwise you're just gonna stay home for the day. Like, that's like I did this test earlier and like it said, okay, one of your traits is like the instigator, but and I was thinking, what the fuck? But like not in the sense of like, oh, you're trying to start some shit, but like you're trying to start some shit. Like you'll start the conversation, you'll start the party, you'll start the fun, you'll throw the event. You'll like, I am an instigator now. I'm gonna shake some shit up to say let's get together, let's do it. So you have to also change perspective of how you like view words, because like transaction isn't really about word, and that is how we exchange things because we have energy to give. But like we're not gonna give it up in the name of like not receiving that back, whatever it looks like coming back for you.
Right. And I think it's the same with just the whole 50-50 conversation is all like, we all know it's like subjective to everything, but like some people might feel like a man providing isn't like has nothing to do with like financial part of it,
Mm-hmm.
where some women feel like, no, that's part of the man providing for me. So for some women, like she don't care, like the girl said, I don't care if the bill come, if I open it later, the bill, I'm gonna pay it, versus like her giving it to her man, like, oh, here go the light bill, like, and shit, I lost my train of thought.
This nigga high. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's the thing of Cayman.
Oh, I'm from Cayman.
He's mentally in the Cayman Islands right now.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with he said. And side note, they was clowning him on Twitter, talking he was Chance the Rapper mixed with Andre 3000, and now I can't unsee that.
I thought he was like so intellectual. I was like, what a great person.
No, he really is. But I feel like it is transactional, everything that we do, and it's not always. Some people put like a negative connotation on things, and it's not always like a negative connotation when like the word is being used, So, I mean,
I will say this: what we have to understand is that words actually have multiple definitions, right? So when you use a word, there can be multiple definitions for that word. So I just pulled up transaction, right? Just to pull up, because I wanted to make sure that I was clearer. So one definition of the word, to Lionel's point, is an exchange or interaction between people. So that's kind of what I think that gentleman was talking about, right? An exchange or an interaction between people. So that is one definition of the word interaction. But there's multiple definitions, right? So another definition is an interaction of buying or selling something, right? The action of conducting business, right? So, like, it's multiple definitions. It depends on how you're defining it for your specific situation. Because somebody can look at that and be like, hold on, I don't want to be conducting business in a relationship. I don't want it to be transactional. You know what I'm saying? Like that. To me, that doesn't make sense. Again, that's just to that individual person. Not saying that if we're going by definition, it's not a definition that you can't find for that word that makes sense for a relationship. But some people might not jive with that particular definition for that word.
Right, and I agree, because I feel like some people wouldn't want the relationship be based on like it being transactional, versus like in some cultures that the relationship is transactional because it's like arranged marriages, So
Right.
that one, you can't help but say it's like a transaction because it is. It's a family pairing their daughter or child with another family because they get something off of it, or they know their child gonna be provided with, vice versa. Versus like, I think the first one you said was just like y'all interacting.
Right.
In that case, it would be transactional. So I mean, it's all like you said. It's either you can't weaponize. I feel like that's the whole thing. Like, don't weaponize the word. And some people would. Like, I feel like the girl in the video, she was weaponizing a man not being able to not financially provide and calling him not a man by that, and she weaponizing him not being a man. But if
And
she
look, Torian,
calling him not a man, she just say there's gonna be some flag.
nah.
no, she said the woman gonna feel like she the man in a relationship. She's like, you're
Right.
the woman.
No,
Like,
she's okay.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
she said
literally
you're
what
the
she
woman
said.
in a relationship. Like,
She
yeah.
literally said she literally said at that point I should just be in a lesbian relationship. That's literally what
Right.
She did.
Yeah, but that was just like a key.
No, but I feel like that would be so inaccurate because, like, a man could still do a lot of shit besides provide fucking money. Cause like, who gonna kill this bug? I'm scared of. Like, who the fuck?
Right.
Like, in a lesbian relationship, y'all gotta do fucking heads or tails or rock paper scissors. Like, okay, who finna do this manly shit? Who finna wash the cars?
Yeah, I'm
today?
sure somebody is gonna
Who's
be the
finna-
bridge.
Right, somebody it's gonna be more so the masculine person gonna be. But I mean, if you get like two feminine girls, like
True,
Naomi's
that's
so
true.
right. Like who pulling this bug? Who taking out the trash?
Like, we're both scared over here. Like, what the hell? We both scared walking
Like,
that night. This is
y'all literally gotta go
crazy.
together to take the trash out to avoid somebody being like, take it.
Do it
Like,
together.
But see,
But
that
I
goes to the
actually
point that he
kinda
was saying with transactional. He was saying, like, we are humans having like transactional experiences, so make sure your interactions are valuable. He's like, because you use those interactions to build your life. That's the
No,
foundation
but
of your
that's what I
life.
was about to say. I think that he was accurate in saying that all relationships really are transactional in some way, even if it's just like, I like to be around this person because they make me feel good. Like, I can provide my presence or my time because, like, this person's gonna provide the laughs or this person gonna provide the weed. Like, it's probably some people that be like, shit, I know I'm gonna smoke when I get to go around Naomi. Okay, it's a plus right there, period. So I think things definitely can be transactional, maybe in subtler ways. Like, it doesn't have to be like, you have to do this for me to stay around you, or it doesn't have to be in that type of way. But I think it definitely can have those vibes.
See, that's the way I kind of took it. Was right, is that like, hey, if you're not doing this, then I can't rock with you. If you're not gonna, like you were saying, if you're not gonna keep providing the laughs, if you sad now because some bad shit happened in your life, okay, we can't keep rocking now because you're not making me laugh no more, right? Because it's like a transaction, is it transactional one way, right?
No, I feel like transactions are always both ways. Like, it's
But
always
hold
an
on, though.
exchange.
Okay, I'm with you. A transaction is both ways, but if we on naystouchjewelry.com, right, and I'm making a transaction with you, I'm paying you to provide a service, right?
Yeah, but you getting something, I'm getting something.
I agree. But what happens though when we on Nays Touch Jewelry and all of a sudden, like, again, I'm just using Nays Touch. No, I got to plug the jewelry line. But now all of a sudden I say, hey man, look, I've been buying jewelry from you every week. This week I ain't got it. Can you still provide me that chain? And you're gonna say no.
Yeah, because I think relationships can become unbalanced at a point, right? And that's usually when relationships have to end or evolve. Like, something is out of balance here. Like, I've been giving you all my time and energy, and I haven't heard from you all week. Like, but hold on, I was just giving you all this shit. So now this shit's out of balance. Like, okay, hold on. Let me stop doing what I'm doing, right? Let me stop giving that because I'm not getting anything back. So I feel like, yeah, a lot of things can be transactional. And when there is like something messes up, something's out of flux.
But maybe that's why I don't like maybe that's why I don't like it being said that way, because I understand where you're coming from, Roy, where it's like, yeah, when it comes to actual relationships, there are times where you may be doing some sort of action or something that really isn't beneficial to you. It's really in the, for the sake of your partner, because your partner needs this. It's a transactional thing on their end. It's not really for you. Now, someone might argue the fact that it's like, oh, well, this makes me feel good and whatever. But honestly, there are people who are like, I really just do that because that's what you need. Like, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't benefit me in any way. You know what I'm saying? Like, per se, like I said, it can always be argued a little bit further down. But I think that's why, I guess, and again, in America, in this capitalistic, capitalist type of economy that we're in, like, we really only know transaction mainly for that definition of like, yes, we're both going to benefit from something. So I think that's why I guess I was a little bit like I understand where he's coming from and I understand the explanation, but relationships aren't always black and white in that way where it's like, yes, we are both benefiting, because not always. We really aren't. I might be taking a loss doing some shit, but I'm just doing it because I care for this relationship. I care about you.
But should you be doing that?
That's the point of his. That's what he was saying.
Should you be doing that?
Make
like,
sure that
it is out of that balance where you're not receiving as much as you're giving, like constantly. Like, okay, there are times when you do need to give a little more, and you're not
but
able to give it.
Like, every relationship is going to come to that point. I feel like it's not always going to be to. So I should just be like, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and end it because this is just not going the way it is at this point in time. Like, that's kind of
that is why relationships end.
Or it stays together.
That's not real. Like, and I come down to the same topic multiple times because it's like whenever you really are like love someone and want to be with someone, you know what I'm saying? Like, there are things that you may just, kind of come down on for certain things that you might not be so strong about. Those things that you would have been strong about in the past, that it's like, you know what, I can kind of come down on this a little bit because of, the feeling that I have for you and things like that. So that's why I'm saying it's not necessarily 100% realistic to me.
But do you think you should be doing that? Because I can feel that. And then maybe you keep doing that, and damn, it's been 2 years, and now I'm fucking tired. I'm kind of fucking resentful.
Well, yeah, I mean, consistently getting nothing, from. I can understand you wanting to walk away, but I can also understand that, like you said, like whenever it comes to especially a partnership, you're trying to be in a life partnership with somebody. It's not always going to be rainbows and butterflies. You know what I'm saying? For each party, like it's gonna, you're gonna have your times where it's like that's just not what it is, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not transactional at that point because we're both not benefiting. You're more so benefiting right now, and maybe down the line I'm gonna benefit a little bit more, and then we'll find our balance again. Like, that's the ups and downs, and I think that's why I was just like, I get it, but at the same time, it's not that plain. Like, it's not that black and white for me.
And I also think it's more so based on what the relationship is. Like, what the relationship is based on, like whether it might be based on love. I feel like you would let some things slide, but if it's based on like it being like a transactional relationship, then it's gonna be like, well, you ain't put in your half. Like, so example, Housewives shows that I watched, this guy and this girl was married, and they was having marital problems because they had some agreement that when they got married, they would start having kids, and she wasn't able to provide that. She was trying, and she wasn't getting pregnant, and she was like, that almost ended our marriage. And I feel like that was because their marriage wasn't based on love. It was based on this transaction of, we getting married and you gonna have my kids, but I love you for that. But when we seen that case, when she ended up getting a surrogate, and it still didn't work out at the end of the day. But it was all just because, like, at first their marriage almost broke up because of the fact that she wasn't getting the kids as soon as he wanted it. He wanted them within like the first year or 2 years, and it took them year 5 or 6.
Right.
But I think that just proves the point. Like what you and Mo said just proves the point. It's like you're doing it. It's transactional. Whether you feel like they're valuable or not may like measure how far you'll go. But like there's like you're doing that because you see there's value, even if you're not getting anything in this moment. It's because like you feel like this person is valuable to you, which is why you're like, okay, well, I'm willing to have this transactional experience. Like, I'm not getting shit, but like here's for you in the name of like how I value you. And if you don't feel value there and you're still coming like that, then like he said, bitch, you're trying to feed yourself with a hammer as if it's a fork. You have some broke teeth. Like that's the reality. So like making sure that your focus is like value and like what am I like getting, how am I feeling, like how does this person make me feel. Those kinds of things are important because it is transactional. And then you will be, before you know it, so over this person, look at them completely different. Like, bitch, I don't value you. This was a horrible transaction, bitch. I hate it. And you trying to get the fuck ASAP. So I love this conversation side because I feel like it's putting your mind in the right place. Like I'm in a relationship, marriage 8 years down, like 8 years in. And with that, I've learned so much. Like you guys mentioned tonight, providing is not just financial, which I came in my like feet on the ground, like running, like, okay, provide finances. But like even through the relationship, like my woman has taught me and life has taught me that it's across the board, bitch. Like you need to also provide emotional fucking availability and support and like being there and like availability and all the things are so important. But like as a man, that is important. If you neglect that bitch, just the transaction is somehow fucked up. She gonna want a refund.
And I think that sometimes people don't realize that some relationships end based off of like their relationship or that person feeling more so emotional was higher than like being able to just provide financially, like whereas some like that woman was saying like for her I feel like it was financial over emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you need to like talk to your partner and figure out that, because in the case of like the divorce happening because like you're both of y'all not there emotionally, or you feel like you fell in love with somebody else emotionally, now you don't want to be with your wife or husband, it ain't because he ain't financially there, it's because the emotion left, love is no longer there. So it's like, why be with you versus like if I'm in a relationship because this nigga got me paying half the bills.
Mm-hmm.
Got the job,
She was wrong for that. She was using her emotional like creature as leverage. But it's not like women don't do that every second of the day. Like that's what I was saying. This sounds like she's like she may not have hit the nail on the head, but she's like close to the mark because women do use their emotions as leverage instead of like coming logically and saying, hey, I would feel better as a person if like I didn't feel like I had to provide in this way. Like that's a mature conversation. But like she's taking the emotional route and just like making you feel away instead, which is fucked up. Like honestly, but women do emotional shit like that. They use their emotions as leverage.
I do want to bring her back, so I want to bring her back and let me go back to that first video. But let me say this though.
Wait, put up what Jasmine said. She said.
I'm sorry.
Put up what Jasmine said. She said love has value.
Yeah, hold on. We're gonna get to Jasmine in a second. Jasmine's spamming the damn chat right now. Hold on, Jasmine. We're gonna get to all 75 of your messages. Shout out to Jasmine though. Jasmine, you need to come up on the show. We're gonna drop the link for Jasmine goddamn next week. So just come up on the show. And shout out to Naomi's head wrap as well. She got a I mean it's not rap technically, it's just on her head, but shout out to her. But I'll say this though. My thing that me and my wife talk about a lot.
Cheers.
Is that first of all, what are you drinking? Like, I'm not even sure what the hell that is.
Like wine.
That shit look like.
First of all, what were you about to say?
I know. Goddamn. Okay.
No, this is just mixed Moscato.
Okay, there you go. Me and my wife have this conversation a lot because my belief is right when it comes to quote unquote like happiness or in a relationship, and I'm equating that to transactional because what I'm figuring is, hey, this transaction is making me happy because you're doing X, Y, and Z that's appeasing to me and making me happy, right? Mm-hmm. I've always said, I'm just talking, let me speak for our relationship, right? Or just for me specifically. For me being happy is seeing my wife and my kids happy. That makes me happy at this point in my life, where I am in my life, right? And I would hope that for her seeing me and the kids happy make her happy. Now there's things I have to do to make that possible, right? So maybe that's quote unquote the transactional part. But for me personally, it's just seeing them happy for me is happiness. But let me go back to old girl. I don't know her name.
No,
just kidding. Cheers to that.
Tomato.
Let me go to her real quick, and she's talking about why y'all niggas ain't shit. Let's go.
a woman pays 50% of anything in her home, she runs the place. Okay. It's not both. It's not equal because she does way more work. And so she's going to pull rank if she pays any type of, 50-50 roommate situation. The man will never pull rank in a 50-50 situation ever. The woman will always rule that house and always second guess him and always correct him and always make sure he's doing correct. He will never feel like a man in his own home ever. He will have to run everything past her. And if he doesn't, she's going to yell at him. So that's why I don't believe in 50-50 marriages or, relationships, because the man ends up being like the woman. Y'all might as well be in a lesbian relationship. Okay. And I know.
Not okay with the chuckle.
With the chuckle.
Right. Let's stop it right there. You heard her. She might as well be in a lesbian
He
relationship.
was like, I
And I feel like her name
Bitch,
was like.
you thought you
She's like, okay, period. Like,
But I also want to know what she meant by, because she said if the woman pays the bill, she automatically doing more than the man. Like, but like, is that
because I
he
was
take care of
honestly
the
just
kids too?
thinking, I was thinking like, especially when it's kids in the mix,
Mhm.
I don't know if I should be doing 50-50, like,
Right.
unless because it's not 50-50. Like,
That was
because
my
who the
initial
kids gonna
sentiment.
run to first?
Like,
Who the
I can't
kids
even
run
make a
to
baby.
first? They run to mama, okay?
Mhm.
They calling daddy. They're like, fuck, okay, I gotta ask him, okay.
That's true.
Like, he not
But
even
that
gonna know
goes
the
to-
answer.
But that goes to the point that Lionel was making earlier, though, Naomi, is that like I agree with you on that. But now, right? I agree. So now you take on those roles, right? So that's the part that you're doing. Okay, I'm doing my part, but are you able now to criticize the part that I'm doing if it's quote unquote not enough, right? Are you gonna say, well, what you're doing is not enough?
No, it wouldn't be a criticize, but if I need help and I need assistance, I mean, I guess if like I'm saying, hey, I need some help around the house?
Well, when you say assistance, how though, right? Because if
please watch these babies before I go crazy.
But I'm saying though, if I'm providing food, clothing, and shelter, right? Because that's kind of what you're saying. Like, okay, you taking care of the kids, but I'm providing food, clothing, and shelter. Like,
Well, we were talking about going 50-50, so it wasn't just you providing that shit.
But
I'm also
sometimes it
working
might
with
break
providing.
down. That might be the 50-50 split. Is that you take care of the kids, I provide food, clothing, and shelter. That's the 50-50.
I don't know,
Just
cause
like you
like,
still have a
nigga,
kid.
not
Have
you
to be a
at
dad.
work. Like you getting midday drinks and shit. You out getting a midday drink, saying you at work. I've been at home with these damn kids this whole time.
You
Like
didn't painted a whole narrative.
you didn't win
painted
after,
a whole
so
narrative.
now you're getting drinks after work. Now you're getting drinks after work. Okay, wow. So this
Like,
is
now
part
you
of
having
the time. Like,
fun.
look at all this free time you have to just be a solo adult, right? So it's like differences. Like,
first of all, hold on. Who
hey,
said
I'm just
At
saying.
the end, that okay,
I'm
so
just saying.
the show that I was watching, Housewives, that was another issue with that couple. Was that I feel like the man felt like because he was paying like the bills and all that the wife needs to put in on her end of like she's stay-at-home mom, so you got to do everything. And that was one of the issues when she was out of town on a trip and something happened with like the nanny, she needed to go. And then she was calling the husband like, I need you to go get the kids, And he like, well, why ain't the nanny getting it? And she like, well, she's sick. She just injured herself. He like, well, I'm at so-and-so. I'm at an event. He like, I need you to find somebody to take care of the kids. And it's like, at that point, he was put down his foot like, I'm paying the bills and all this. So that's your job is to handle the kids. Like, don't call me and tell me I need to go get the kids because I'm doing what I want to do. So you need to go get the kids. And that was like, that's fucked up.
He said, excuse me?
Right. You calling me with this bullshit in the middle of my shit? Like,
He
no.
said, what kids?
Who is this?
And that's like he was the one who wanted the kids, and that was his whole transaction. Was like, you have these kids. But when it came down to like actually take care of his kids, it's like,
He's
why
like, no, that's the woman stuff. I'm gonna be over here. You take care of the kids.
You know what's crazy though? Like think about what we do right here on No Strings. Hold on, let me put this up for Jasmine real quick because Jasmine is correct. Jasmine said, I'm showing love. It helps see people. She's 100% correct. Her putting those comments in the chat, it does help the algorithm. So shout out to Jasmine. But let me just say this to Torian's point. What we do here, right, on No Strings, if we have an event to where we're trying to like market the show, right? That's trying to get a bag in everybody's household. That's trying to blow up this whole thing, right? That's a part of the job. We working literally, right? It might seem like it's a quote unquote fun event. We out, we having a drink, we doing this, but we trying to like, we trying to like really get a bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we might have a drink because it's a social event, but at the end of the day, we out here trying to get a bag. So yeah, if your role,
it looks too fun.
it sounds good. But like this is what's keeping the lights on potentially for somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if this shit start keeping the lights on, I might need you to call somebody to come pick up them kids. Cause I'm keeping the lights on with what I'm doing right now, out and about, socializing and drinking. That's keeping the lights on.
Yeah.
So it depends on the
that's why
situation.
like I think it's a tricky situation when it isn't 50-50, because then like it just puts you in a position for you to be used as a woman, to be trapped, to like
hold on, Naomi.
No, whoa.
Hold on, no. You use the word used. Why not? Why didn't you use the word transaction?
I guess. I don't even remember what I said.
Now it's
I don't even remember what I said. But
you said use. Why not just it's a transaction?
No, because it was transactional until that shit got out of balance. Now you don't have any power. And
hold on. So now you don't like the
I always said
definition.
it's a transaction, but when that shit is not balanced, that shit's dead.
So now you don't like the definition of transaction now.
I never had no problem with it.
Okay, well, hold on. Now you're using a different word instead of transaction. You're using use now.
Same shit, I guess. If you want to,
because she's saying she would feel used in the wrong way in that situation to be saying
but that was my whole point earlier, though, is that like one person's transaction is another person's being used.
But that was his point. Bitch, use it right. Don't be trying to bite the hammer, bitch. Don't open the door with a hammer. That's the point. Because if you stand at home all day and you feeling controlled, lock the fucking house, looking at his story, and he outside turns up and saying, "Well, I gotta get the bag," then you're gonna feel like you eating with a hammer. You gonna have broken teeth left and right. So that's literally the point. That's why I feel like that was such.
You know what's funny though, Lionel? I think this is why somebody like Marcus Houston chooses a younger mate. I know people might go hard on me on that. Pause.
No,
but this is why somebody like Marcus Houston chooses a younger mate, because now he can use them for the whatever transaction he wants to use them for.
Blasphemy.
No, I feel like it's definitely blatantly transactional when there's a 20-year-old difference between the partner. Like, okay, I'm getting on because this old nigga got money, and he's like, okay, I'm getting off because it's a young bitch.
Right.
So
there you go. It's a transaction.
It's already blatantly transactional. But I'm just saying that things can be more subtle in ways. But yeah, like I was saying, like when men do have more money, it can just put you in a more fucked up situation. Because some men who are paying all the bills and shit, they'll think, okay, so I'm able to do whatever I want. I'm able to like literally like, because what else are you gonna do? You don't got no money.
True.
You don't got no house. I'm not in your
That's
name.
something
What
that
are you
a lot
gonna
of
do,
women
bitch? I already got you with kids. I already trapped you with kids, bitch. What are you gonna do?
But that's I think you going into disrespect though now, right?
I mean,
it happens naturally because I
disrespectful.
experienced that myself. Like I was like had kids, and then like I would just be having my best life, and then taking care of the home and everything, and then just be outside. But then I had a realization of like, oh shit, well, while I'm here, that clearly means that she's home with the kids, and I know for a fact like the kids are the kids. Like that's a job in itself. Like that's just work. So then you have to be considerate to that, you know.
And let's not like completely blow over the fact that we talked about this 1,000,001 times on this show, that there are things that women also allow whenever a man is providing financially thoroughly. You know what I'm saying? Like how many women just allow certain shit to be a certain way because, oh, well, he paying the bills, so I don't care. I'd rather cry in a Bentley than crying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, I mean, sadly, there are women that are allowing that shit too at the same time. It's not men just taking advantage of it. I mean, of course they're going to take advantage of it. I mean, who the fuck wouldn't? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know, of course they're going to take advantage, but I also blame the women that are allowing that shit to happen. And that's why you need to have some sort of, you know, standard when it comes to it. It doesn't matter if a man is sitting there just paying bills and he got all this money, this, that, and the third. you still deserve respect at the end of the day. You got to demand that shit. And if you don't, then I mean,
No,
You a
he was
lesbian.
like, no, I'm not. Like, I was literally on
Yeah,
Blueface
'cause I've
story.
been there. Like, good luck taming me.
I was on Blueface story earlier, and he was literally texting Krishan like, he was like, I would never be faithful to you. Like, I'm never gonna be loyal. Like, I'm gonna be on this shit still. He was like, I texted this months ago, and look, she's still
I'm so sorry, but I'm so tired of them. And honestly,
still on
like,
that shit.
I'm sick. I'm really sick of them. Like, and people just be so, I don't know, people be so flabbergasted by the shit that's going on. I'm like, why are y'all surprised at this point? Like, everything that be coming out, I do not be surprised. Like, come
I'm
on.
like, it be regular bitches like on this shit already. So like, I could just.
Okay?
This
Like,
nigga
Bitches don't even have to be
this
rich.
is gonna
Bitches
now.
don't even have to be rich to be going through that shit.
Okay,
This
so
nigga
it's
don't
like-
even got a job.
This is some broke shit though.
No, bro.
But this nigga punched her daddy in the face. Like, goddamn.
And she whooped his mama's ass.
Like, it's too much.
No,
It's
but
way
they
too
probably
much.
both deserved it.
They
Like,
need
I'm
to go to
not. People
Mars.
acting like that was just like such a horrible.
What you mean they both deserved it?
I'm like, look, if your parents need their ass beat, they need their ass beat.
Nah,
I'm sorry.
you wildin', Naomi.
No, I will
No,
run from.
I
I will
don't
literally
think-
like
no,
run
no,
for
no,
my life
'cause
before
I
I
don't
take
think
hands.
just because somebody is your mom or your dad that you gotta fucking like sanctify their ass. Like,
They
no,
know
what you
if
do.
they did
I'm
that,
with you, but he didn't have to
like,
punch
and
the nigga.
respect, I mean, I guess you should respect your parents, but if they lost your respect, then that's on them.
Yeah, you just leave them. You don't like fight. It's fight, flight, or freeze. You like.
I mean,
Right.
but they're the ones who raised them. So sorry, you should have raised your humans better, and they wouldn't be out
Nah,
here beating
that
your
ain't
ass.
on you.
They would not
Nah,
be out
that's
here beating your
wild.
ass if you did a better job. That's karma coming back to.
Nah, that's Naomi. What you saying? I hope you know that's
No, no, no,
wild. What you
fine.
saying? That's
No,
wild right now.
if my son's girlfriend is whooping my ass, like by the time we're older, like there's something I did. I failed. I'm
No,
like,
it
okay,
don't mean no.
this
It
was
I will
don't
like-
body slam you.
fail. You
matter
could have
what.
done
No,
a
that's
great
a
job.
fail. That's a hard
Nah,
fail.
man. Look,
That's a
look.
hard failure.
If
Come
your
back to
kid
earth
grows
like
up to be a serial killer, that don't mean you failed.
That's
That's
true.
something different. That's something
Yeah,
way
something
more
different.
crazy.
That's what we
So
talking
like,
about. People doing wild stuff.
no, we're talking about somebody hating their parents enough to like.
That's you know how wild that sounds. Somebody
It's
hitting
not
their
that wild.
partner's
I've
parents?
seen people's parents. I've seen people's parents who have deserved some shit. Okay,
Nah,
not everybody's
man,
out
look.
here a good parent. If you
Unless
had a good
somebody
parent,
parents put their
you had
hands
a
on
good
you.
parent, that was great for you.
What
But
I'm saying
you're
is,
not in the majority. Okay,
unless
like
somebody's
and recognize
parents-
that shit was out
unless
here.
somebody's
and-
parents put their hands on you or your child, why would you feel justified in putting your hands on them?
I'm like, do you see the shit that Blueface Mama even be saying about him? Like that shit is
But
like.
she should play her. She was just young, and it's Krishan Rock. So I mean, what do you expect? But ultimately, like, if you wanted to fuck, you just had to get back. Like, then pull your power card. Like, get the fuck up out of here. How about that? Like, you're staying with us. She gotta go. But like, you know, not actually whoop her ass. Even though I did hear she was like throwing shit at her and shit like
I'm
that.
expecting her to rise above.
I'm
so much.
like, no, that's
But
some-
again,
Just in
okay,
general, anytime like somebody,
She's
you
not
don't
gonna rise above that ass whooping. She's gonna whoop that ass.
but let me say this though. We gotta let's not act like their situation is a typical situation. That whole shit is ratchet.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been in the streets before. I've seen some ratchet
Nigga,
ass
that whole
situations.
shit.
I was literally just hearing about some fucking fights going on in relationships this past weekend. Okay, so please spare me because shit
Y'all gotta
just
stop,
still be
man.
popping off. Maybe you got a good marriage. bro.
Naomi, y'all gotta stop using these outliers as like that's the exception. That's not the rule.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm like, I ain't made it out the hood yet, Roy. I'm like, I be seeing crazy ass shit. Okay.
Well, trust me, come to the other side, man. It's rainbows and butterflies over here.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Every
So
day,
it's all perception, but it's still going the fuck down over here. And don't get sleep, like
yeah.
shit going down in the good
Yeah,
neighborhood.
but what I'm
too.
saying though is that like we can't, like as black folks, we can't take ratchet shit and use that as like norms. We gotta understand that's ratchet shit. If your mama is ratchet and doing ratchet shit and getting her ass whooped, that's not a normal thing.
Yeah.
Like no one should
I
ever touch
mean,
somebody's. Like you
I
shouldn't
don't
touch your
know.
spouse's mom. Like that's why I feel like even if there's disrespect, like you leave the situation. Like you do not touch your spouse's mom, especially because you don't know how like they would feel about that or how they would respond to even seeing that or being in that position. I know for me, anybody touch my mom, I'm body slamming you no matter what.
But
Right.
you love
I
your
don't-
mom.
My
But
mom
you
can
love
be
your mom.
100%
I was
wrong.
in that box. I was in her gut. Like nobody's
But
touching her.
that's your right to do, though. At the end of the
Right.
day, I mean, but let's
We
not
both grown.
act like that shit don't be happening. Like that should be happening.
These hands are equal opportunity. Okay.
No.
Hey, ready to eat for
Your
everyone.
mama might get it.
No facts. I'm
But-
on that. I'm on anybody can get it. Anybody can get slapped. Even your mama.
See,
No,
now I
'cause I
gotta
just
remove
feel
myself from that
like-
situation
You
though.
better grab your mama if you don't want to see your mama get slapped.
I didn't see some shit.
Y'all
I
are
didn't seen it. Look,
But
I
on the
didn't
same
see
end,
some
I'm like,
shit.
you slap my mama, I'm beating your ass. But
Exactly. I'm gonna be looking at you like I'm gonna be looking at because if my mom is crazy, she's crazy. If you react crazy, I'm gonna be looking at y'all both in the same boat. At this point, I got.
Now you're gonna be like, wow, I attracted somebody just like my mama. And like, so, but if your mom's that crazy, you're probably thrown off too. So that's what I'm saying. Like, all this dysfunction is coming
So
together.
that relationship
But
is bad.
The mama is stemmed from the mama. So, hey, it's your chickens
But-
coming home to roost.
But Naomi,
At
what
the end of the day,
no,
what you
Jasmine.
just described is a horrible relationship.
I mean, duh, but horrible relationships are every day. You
Yeah,
think
they're
people
out
got
here.
good
But
relationships
you gotta
out
get
here,
out of
bro?
that shit though, man.
You dead ass think people got good relationships out here? What do you think is going
No.
on?
I agree with you, but people like at a certain point, you get to a certain. Listen, I understand at a certain age, at a certain development level, people are with the ratchet bullshit. But everybody has to get to a point to where they say, "Okay, let me get past that foolishness."
Only some people do. Some people never get past this. Some
Okay.
people never even want to. They're too stuck
I'm
in the
with you.
shit.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you, but you know what? As a society of black people, we gotta leave them folks behind. I can't.
I'm
I
like,
can't
fuck as
bring
a
you-
society of black people. I'm on some whole other different shit as a different
I can't
soul.
bring you.
But at the end of the day,
I
everybody
can't bring you along with me if you on that type of shit. If you feel like that's okay, I can't bring you along with me.
Well, duh. And they're still gonna be left there fighting, whether you're able to perceive that or not. They still gonna be going through all the
Yeah, but like we gotta understand that like everybody ain't gonna make it though. Like regardless, no matter what, everybody ain't gonna make it. No matter what it is, everybody ain't gonna make it.
yeah, duh. That's life.
So
And that's
like,
fine. And
you
like, so that's, but you just can't deny what is like. That's
no,
life. Of
I'm
course, you
agreeing
can
that
see
it happens.
all
but
the things on all the different stages.
I'm
on
with
all
you.
the
It happens,
But
but
it's levels to all this shit.
yeah, but like just because wild shit happens, don't mean that we got to just sit back and accept it. Like, oh, well, that happened, so hey, the daddy wanted to sleep with the daughter, so hey, it happens. No, that's not a good look. Fuck out of here. That's all I'm saying.
It does happen, and with
It
change,
does, but it's not acceptable. That's what I'm saying. We can't act like that shit's acceptable.
No, that's true.
All right, let's get ready to get this fuck up out here tonight, man. 'Cause I got to watch the second half of the LeBron got a chance to close out light skinned Steph Curry tonight. They losing, so they probably won't do it tonight. They're not gonna. They down 20. Okay, so the Warriors gonna win tonight. All right, but we got them in LA on Friday. Don't worry about it. All right, let's get ready to get up out here for the night, man. Make sure y'all hit up naestouchjewelry.com, NAES, naestouchjewelry.com for all your gold needs, whatever you're looking for, man. Custom pieces that she got up on there, hit them up. And my man Lionel got them signature shades, the signature line, you dig? Signature shit, you dig? We out here, L&L, you dig?
You know they eat.
Y'all know the vibes, you dig? And Torian got that hat line coming out. I'm playing. Torian cut his hair and started wearing hats. That's how I know Torian trying to attract something out here.
Shut up.
Hold on. 3 things. Torian cut his hair, he wearing hats, and he drinking a new drink. He drinking Cayman Jacks now. This shit is crazy.
Well, now it's mixed now.
Oh, you mixing it?
I put some tequila pineapple in the jar now.
Why not? Cheers.
Cheers. No, good night, everybody. Thank you.
Hold on. Let me go ahead. Jasmine says in the chat. Jasmine says, so people can't fight their spouse's mom, but 50-year-old men can date 18-year-olds. Okay, yes, that's legal. It's nothing illegal.
It's legal to fight your parents' mom too.
Right.
Oh, Naomi, that's
No,
called
stop his
assault.
mom.
Hold on. Everybody stop. That's called assault.
Only if you get caught.
No, only if you do it first. But if they hit you first, you got the right to defend yourself.
Y'all are funny as hell. One thing is called assault. The other thing is called maybe y'all don't like it. It may be poor taste, but it's not illegal.
That's exactly how I feel. Like it may be poor taste to knock out your partner's parents, but it's not illegal.
You wow, Naomi. Listen, if you knock out your man's mama, that's crazy.
If you know he don't even fuck with his mama that much, and you know it'd be okay, and like you standing up, he's standing up for him because she know like he been wanting to knock her out, and he can't. Because that's his mama, like that's his mama, so he literally cannot do that. But boom, she's like, "I got you, babe."
Tag me in.
That bitch out of line.
This is wild right now. Boo. I don't know where we are right now on this show. This shit has completely devolved. All right, man. We back next week.
Dads.
Niggas said not the mamas.
Hide your mom.
Everybody out here.
Jesus Christ. This shit is crazy. All right, man. Y'all make sure y'all tune in, man. Hit that subscribe button. Thumbs up the show. We do appreciate it, man. Hit us up wherever y'all find y'all podcast, man. We over there. Hit us up on YouTube, man. Go into them archives. We got plenty of shows for y'all to watch. We got shows with Dr. Umar on there. We got exotic dancers, stripper, whatever you're looking for, man. You can find it on our channel. Have a good time. Go through the archives. We do appreciate it. We out here for the night, man. That's been No Strings. We'll holler at y'all next week. Peace.
Bye. Bye, y'all.